The night was thick with silence, broken only by the hum of flickering fluorescent lights. Mark Simmons adjusted his security cap and took a deep breath, staring at the bank of surveillance monitors in front of him. It was his first solo night shift at Greenfield Industrial facility, a vast, aging complex on the outskirts of town. The previous guard had quit abruptly, mungling something about things moving in the dark. Mark smirked. Superstitions had no place in his world. But as the clock struck midnight, an uneasy feeling crept over him. The monitors showed empty hallways, dimly lit corridors, and the cavernous storage room silent as the grave. Yet, something felt off. He grabbed his flashlight and began his rounds, the echo of his boots bouncing off the steel walls. Room after room, corridor after corridor empty, until he reached Sector C. A sudden static buzz filled his earpiece. Then, a whisper. Not alone. Not alone. Mark spun around, his flashlight slicing through the darkness. Nothing. Damn interference, he muttered, shaking his radio. But then he heard its soft footsteps dragging across the floor. Who's there? Mark called, his voice firm but edged with doubt. No answer. Just the distant clatter of something metallic falling over. With a racing heart, he approached the sound, reaching the door to storage room 4B. The handle was ice-cold under his grip. He hesitated before pushing it open. The room smelled of dust and rusted metal. Shelves lined the walls, casting twisted shadows under the dim emergency light. Then movement. A dark figure darted between the shelves. Mark's breath hitched. This facility is off-limits after hours. Show yourself. Silence. His flashlight beam quivered as he stepped forward. His foot hit something soft. He looked down and his stomach twisted. A security badge. The name read Daniel Myers, the previous guard. A chilling breeze swirled through the room, though no windows were open. The temperature plummeted. Mark's breath came out in visible puffs. The shelves behind him rattled violently. He turned sharply, and the flashlight flickered. In the stuttering light, something moved a shape, tall and impossibly thin, its eyes glinting like polished obsidian. Then, darkness. Mark's flashlight went dead. The emergency light above fizzled out. The room was swallowed by an inky void. And in that abyss, he heard breathing not his own. Slow. Deep. Predatory. The whispers returned, circling him like a swarm of unseen horrors. Not alone. Not alone. Mark fumbled for his radio. Static, his pulse pounded in his ears. Then, fingers cold, skeletal brushed his neck. His scream never left his throat as the darkness consumed him whole. Mark awoke in pitch blackness, the air thick and damp. A sharp pain throbbed at the back of his head. His flashlight was gone, his radio silent. The floor beneath him felt rough, uneven concrete, but cracked, like an old basement. He pushed himself up, his fingers brushing something sticky. The metallic scent of blood hit his nostrils. He wasn't sure if it was his own. A faint shuffle echoed in the distance. Then, a whisper closer this time. Still here, still watching. Mark held his breath. He wasn't alone. A faint glow pulsed in the distance, illuminating the outline of an open door. Gathering his courage, he stumbled toward it, his heartbeat hammering like a war drum. As he neared, a guttural growl reverberated from behind him. A surge of adrenaline shot through him. He sprinted through the doorway, slamming it shut behind him. His hands trembled as he searched the room. Rows of old filing cabinets stood like tombstones. Dust coated everything. A single flickering bulb buzzed from the ceiling. Then, a sound scratching. Slow, deliberate, coming from inside one of the cabinets. Mark swallowed hard and reached for the handle. The moment his fingers touched it, the scratching stopped. A deep, rattling breath came from behind him. He turned, but the light above him sputtered out again, plunging him into darkness. This time, the whispers were everywhere. "Welcome home, Mark.